What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to The Fringe. I had a video recently on the channel talking about little Tommy Lakazuk's petition to try and beat out Alberta Prosperity's project when it comes to the question of should Alberta remain in Canada. Now, I find it a very funny petition because first you had Tom saying he had no problem signing early to get his petition. He had no problem thinking he was going to garner 600,000 signatures that were necessary based on the old rules prior to Bill 54 in order to make his petition valid for referendum. But now he's stomped his feet like a child. He has said that, well, I want new rules. I want new conditions because the bills, have come into effect. The laws have changed. And of course, because I have a feeling, allegedly, my personal opinion is because he's a former deputy premier. He has connections within the government. Now, we've seen APP's question be held up in courts. Again, those individuals are going to handle that this Thursday. I will give you guys all updates from what we hear from the courts. Again, I'm in constant contact with Alberta Prosperity Project, so keep your ears to the track on that one. But I want to talk about the threat of what's coming for Alberta and the reality of what we have to deal with here. Because we kind of touched on it in the last video when we talked about this new Alberta Forever Canada petition. Alberta Forever is the organization alongside Tom Lakazuk that is trying to get roughly 300,000 signatures to push his petition forward ahead of APP's. Now, if you're unaware about the way referendums work in Canada, you can only have one question to one subject on a referendum ballot. Now, in my opinion, I feel that with Tom Lakazuk's question of should Alberta remain in Canada, if people were to say no, realistically, it's the same as APP's question. I know that's not the case. Keep in mind, you still have to have the government acknowledge said referendum question. But what we're seeing here now with a requirement of roughly 300,000 signatures, I want to talk about the likelihood of Tom getting that. Now, he has until the end of October to garner his signatures, which is less than 90 days at this point at the time of filming this video. But in order to get the signatures required, this is where I've said it takes organization, it takes a machine. Alberta Prosperity Project has been gathering those who are intending to sign to push for a referendum question that, yes, we like APP's question. We are registered voters. Keep in mind, you have to be a registered voter in Alberta. All of these get verified before they say you've got your signatures. Head over to albertaprosperityproject.com, by the way, if you haven't yet pledged to sign for that petition. But they've organized it at least where Tom hasn't, and I'm shocked at how quickly he has the attention of mainstream media. He has this new Alberta Forever campaign running things. They've got hats, t-shirts. My question is, where is that money going from all of those sales? But he needs to get 3,300 signatures a day, every 24 hours, in order to make his petition valid. And all of those 3,300 signatures have to be verified, by the way. This is where I say it's different. I'm not going to question the legitimacy of how they're going to get it, how fair it's going to be. But let's take a look at what they're talking about here, because we're going to go over some numbers. We've already talked about 3,300 signatures a day, but I still feel that while part of me says it's impossible, he's not going to hit it, there's one avenue where I feel he could get this. And this is where APP should really be focusing on. But let's take a look at this little video here where they talk about hundreds coming out to sign his petition.
The Forever Canadian petition was submitted by former Alberta Deputy Premier Thomas Lakazuk in June under old provincial rules, so it will have less than 3 months to get nearly 294,000 signatures.
Now, I want to show something while they're talking about that. Do you see what this lady's wearing here in the video? Right here. This is an Alberta Health Services sweater. So this lady works directly with Alberta AHS, Alberta Health Services. So you've got the usual suspects involved alongside Tom trying to get these signatures. Now, keep in mind, when they were in Edmonton over the weekend getting these signatures by a local farmers market, it's a very heavy NDP riding. Edmonton often goes orange because of these workers. And we're going to get into those numbers. Stay with me on this video, folks. Because again, we're just going to give a little bit more information from this news clip. And then I'm going to show you where I think we may see some form of pushback from Tom's petition.
We're getting literally thousands of contacts per day. Where can I sign? How can I sign? So now we are officially out. Now we are signing up with Elections Alberta, our signature collectors. Elections Alberta has to accredit them and send them a badge like this.
Meanwhile, there were also a couple of counter-protesters at the event.
We're basically trying to discuss whether we can achieve our goals within or without Canada. Either way, I feel the outcome will be positive for Alberta if we just keep having this conversation.
Hundreds of people showed up for the launch of the pro-Canadian initiative, which leaped ahead of the pro-separation referendum question by the Alberta Prosperity Project.
So there he said hundreds showed up. Hundreds. Now, I'm under the impression that Tom is going to figure out a way to be at different events, sporting events, large population areas where they can garner their signatures. But if you're getting hundreds a day, that's where I start to diminish my hopes that he's going to get his signatures when you need 3,300 a day. One thing I've done, though, thanks to some of those who work alongside me, is we started talking about the statistics of people in Alberta that work within the government. People that don't want Alberta independence. In Alberta, according to an AI overview, there are approximately 37,000 provincial government employees. This number includes those working directly for the government and those working for public agencies. Additionally, there are an unknown number of people employed in roles that are connected to the government, such as those working for government contractors or in industries that are heavily reliant on government spending. So keep in mind that's just 37,000 they're giving. Now, I can tell you where those numbers go afterwards, but the other thing I asked is how many people work for Alberta Health Services in Alberta? Keep in mind, Tom needs 300,000 signatures. Alberta Health Services, AHS, employs over 113,000 individuals. This includes direct employees, staff, and wholly owned subsidiaries, physicians, and volunteers. AHS is the largest employer in Alberta. Now, people will say, Fringe, 113 and 37 doesn't add up to 300,000. Those people have family members. Those people have those linked to them that they can easily influence. They can say, just sign for this. We don't want Alberta to leave. You've also got more than 37,000 that work within connections to the government, again, through contracts, through other means, that if all of these folks, now I know not everybody who works for the government is against Alberta independence. In fact, we've already seen a number of UCP candidates saying that they're all for it, that this is part of the reason they brought in Bill 54. But when you look at the woman in that video, in the news video, wearing the AHS shirt, and we've seen the influence in general elections from organizations like QP that were directly linked, by the way, to Rachel Notley via her husband. This is part of the reason Rachel Notley became premier of Alberta. They have a lot of pull. And when you only need 300,000 signatures, 3,300 a day, again, when only hundreds show up in one area, I start to say, okay, it's not looking likely. However, when you start to put in the employees that have their SJW or social justice warrior type attitudes in terms of, oh, shut it all down, get it out of here, the likelihood of Tom getting these signatures now is a little higher on the scale for me. Let me know what you guys think down below. I'm interested in your opinion. Do you think that Tom's application, with the media behind him, with the government, with AHS, with all these individuals, with the numbers that we just showed you, I've been told that the numbers are roughly 20% of Albertans are linked towards government jobs. That means AHS, government contracts, things like that. 20% of the population that may stand against Alberta independence. Do you think Tom will get his numbers, or do you think it's not really anything to worry about? It's a nothing burger. APP has their organization going. They'll get their signatures and everything will be right as rain. Let me know your thoughts down below. If it's your first time here, I hope this video's earned your subscription. Make sure as you hit that button, you click the bell for all notifications so that you never miss a beat whenever a video drops. Hit a thumbs up and a comment on the way out. Anytime we talk Alberta independence, YouTube censors the hell out of it. They hate us talking about it. When you give a thumbs up, a comment, when you hit subscribe, turn on the bell, it tells YouTube's algorithm, hey, people are interested in this. Let's push it out to more, past their censorship. So any help you guys can give if you're enjoying the content, I appreciate it. Join me live twice weekly now for Wednesday night, Friday night Fringe, or Wednesday night unhinged Fringe, Friday night Fringe, where I'm joined by a plethora of new co-hosts as well as Mrs. Fringe on Friday nights. We talk about everything that happened this week in politics, everything we know coming up in the week ahead, as well as cutting room floor politics topics that don't necessarily make YouTube content. We also chat within the greatest YouTube community on the platform to hear what you guys have to say. And I always look forward to hanging out with you guys in those streams. I also look forward to talking with you this week, Wednesday and Friday, starting at 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, here on the channel. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you on the next one.